Are you thinking of buying property in South Africa? Terms like freehold, full title, sectional title are often used, but what do they actually mean for you as a homeowner? Each type of property comes with its own sets of rights and responsibilities and financial implications. By understanding these key differences, you'll be better equipped to navigate your options and make confident decisions. So let's break it down so you have a clear picture of what to expect. I'm Andre Forster from eXp Realty in South Africa, and together with my wife Lydia, we've been real estate agents in Cape Town's northern suburbs since 2005. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more property tips and updates. Now, just before we start, this is not a complete legal breakdown, but simply an overview of the most common differences to help you understand the essentials. Let's get started. So first up, let's talk about ownership and title deeds with freehold or full title property. So with full title property, you own both the land and the building on it 100%. Your property has its own individual earth number and you're responsible for everything: maintenance, insurance, and all improvements. With sectional title property, on the other hand, you own a specific unit within a shared development. The most common example is an apartment in a block of apartments. But townhouses and other properties might also be registered as sectional title depending on the circumstances. Within a sectional title development, there will usually be shared or communal areas like gardens, passageways, pools, or communal parking, which are all jointly owned by all the unit owners and are managed by a body corporate. The property is registered under a sectional title scheme, which is then governed by the Sectional Titles Act. You'll often hear about exclusive use areas in sectional title developments, which is something that can cause confusion. Some sectional title schemes allocate exclusive use areas to specific unit owners, even if they are not registered as separate sections or units, such as, for example, parking bays, private gardens, storage rooms, balconies, patios, and sometimes garages, although garages are often registered as separate sections. So exclusive use areas can either be formally registered on the title deed or they can simply be allocated through body corporate rules. So before buying, please always clarify what areas are exclusively yours to use to avoid misunderstandings. Now let's discuss the role of the body corporate, the trustees, and meetings in sectional title developments. So the body corporate consists of all the unit owners in the scheme, and it is responsible for managing the complex, the maintenance, the security, the finances, insurance, and so on. The trustees, on the other hand, are elected by the body corporate to handle the day-to-day management of the scheme, such as collecting levies, paying expenses, and enforcing the rules. Then as far as meetings and decisions go, there is an annual general meeting, often called the AGM, which is held once a year, where the owners review the financial statements, they approve budgets, they vote on any necessary issues, and then they elect the trustees. A special general meeting, or an SGM, can also be called if urgent interim decisions need to be made on an ad hoc basis. Okay, now how about the financial management of the body corporate and the levies and so on? This is a big one, so let's talk money. Levies are raised by the body corporate to cover the shared expenses, such as building insurance, security if it's applicable, maintenance, management fees, as well as to make provision for future maintenance and upgrades and so on. Levies can of course increase over time depending on what is needed. So how are the levies calculated? Well, each owner will pay levies based on their participation quota, which is basically the size of their specific unit compared to the whole scheme as a whole. So the bigger the unit, the higher the levy, and the smaller the unit, the lower the levy. Sometimes special levies may also be charged over and above the normal levies to pay for unexpected costs or major projects. Before buying into a sectional title scheme, it's really advisable to request firstly the latest financial statements of the body corporate so that you can assess whether the scheme is in a healthy financial position. If needed, of course, get an accountant to just review the financial statements on your behalf. You should also get hold of a copy of the complex rules to look at before you buy so you know what is and what is not allowed. For example, you don't want to find out when it is too late that you may not be allowed to keep your beloved pet on the property. Also, some schemes might prohibit short-term rentals such as Airbnbs. So just please check the rules if that type of thing is important to you. Some sectional title schemes strictly enforce parking and visitors parking rules. So again, make sure they work for your needs. You can also request the minutes of the last AGM, Annual General Meeting. This will give you insights into issues affecting the scheme, such as maintenance concerns or special levies or potential financial troubles. Now, what are the managing agents? Some sectional title schemes will appoint a managing agent to handle some of the administrative and financial tasks, such as collecting levies, overseeing maintenance, and ensuring legal compliance under the Sectional Titles Management Act. Now, what about municipal rates and taxes? So with both freehold as well as sectional title, you will be required to pay municipal rates and taxes. Now, what are some of the legal implications of each different ownership type? So with freehold property, you have full rights to alter or extend your property, as long as you comply with municipal zoning and building regulations. Of course, if your property, even if it is a freehold property, if it is in an estate or any other development with a homeowners association, there may of course be additional rules and levies which you have to consider. Now, for sectional title property, you must always follow the scheme's rules, and renovations or changes may require body corporate approval. Also, if you don't pay your levies, the body corporate can take legal action against you. Sectional title properties fall under the Sectional Titles Act and the Community Schemes Ombud Service Act, which provides structured processes for managing disputes and finances. Now, how will the specific type of property that you buy influence security and community living, etc.? With freehold property, security is 100% your responsibility. You can install electric fencing, alarms, CCTV, etc. Freehold properties generally offer more privacy, but often do have higher individual security costs. Bear in mind again that if you are in an estate or a complex, there is a homeowners association and they might take care of certain security issues. Now, with sectional title property, these often have gated access and sometimes even security guards and CCTV, thereby reducing individual security costs for the owners if they do have those in place. Close proximity living creates a sense of community and safety, but of course it might also mean a bit less privacy. So which one is right for you? This is not always a straightforward answer, but here are some factors to consider. You could choose freehold if you want full control over your property, you prefer more privacy and fewer rules, and you're happy to handle all maintenance and security yourself. On the other hand, you might prefer sectional title if you want lower maintenance responsibilities, you maybe prefer lock-up and go convenience, and of course you don't mind following community rules. So at the end of the day, both freehold and sectional title properties have their pros and cons. The right choice depends a lot on your personal lifestyle preferences and of course your budget and then your long-term goals. I really hope you found this information helpful. Please feel free to reach out to us for further assistance or with any additional questions you may have. If we cannot answer them, we will direct you to someone who can. Also, to stay updated in future, please like and subscribe to all our channels on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course, TikTok. You can also visit our website www.propla.co.za, which features a frequently asked questions section that answers many property-related questions. If you need any advice, please do get in touch. We'd love to chat with you. Or if you're considering selling your property, let's discuss a customized marketing plan tailored to your specific needs. In the meantime, take care, stay safe, and God bless.